What's up, everybody? My name is Jacob Hardison, and today we've got track walk number 2 for you. Welcome back, everybody, to, of course, the lovely Adrenaline RC YouTube channel, where today we are back with track walk number 2 for you. This time, of course, we are on the outdoor track for the 8 scale portion of our Invitational weekend. So we are excited to share this with you, put in a lot more hours today, continuing to get the shop and facilities ready for everybody to show up come Thursday and Friday later this week. But without further ado, I believe it is time to show you our lovely outdoor track. So I'll spin you around and we'll get right on into it. So here we are at the outdoor track here at Adrenaline RC. Still got some finishing up to do on the cleanup end of things, but the track is just about ready to go, so I figured I would share this with you guys now. Starting off down the straightaway, this time our loop is at the very start of the lap, so unlike the indoor track, we are officially starting our lap now. So we'll take a nice long walk down the straightaway. Not an ungodly long walk compared to some of our previous layouts. A lot of times we'll go all the way to the very end, but I'm sure you could already see before we got even close to the end here that we are not going the full length of the track. We're gonna make a right-hand turn pretty early on. So as you come out of pit lane, you'll notice that you can shoot right onto the outside of this. And then we are up our very, very first short shoot. Nothing crazy happening just yet, but there is, of course, very crazy to come, as you probably saw a little bit as we were doing our intro over there. But we've got our short shoot into our first switchback. A little bit of banking here on the outside. If you're nice and tight, you'll be relatively flat. The entire track, of course, is built on a hill, so there's always a slight banking here on this outside, but a little bit more level there on the inside, comparatively speaking. So our first feature is going to be this double roller. I don't believe that there is going to be enough lip on that to do a full double. Maybe if grip comes up really high and you go wide, might squeak it out, but I think it's going to be 2 singles for the entirety of the weekend. Not a lot of lip on that, despite it being quite a bit larger than our second one. See my lovely shadow there. Then we'll come into our next 180. There's a back view of those rollers there. Come to this 180, super wide, and this is banked on the outside portion of it. So if you do blow it, you do have something that'll kind of push you back into the main portion of the track. Up now, we've got our first tabletop with a beautiful AR there. This has some pretty good pop to it. I don't know if we can see it from the side there, but it does have pretty good pop, and of course, this is jumping up the hill. I'm interested to see if people are going to try and downside this or if they're going to try and just sky it all the way to the face of this and then kind of use the chassis slap to make this next right-hand turn. But we'll come up to our next elevation here, kind of tabletop-ish. So you'll tabletop, come up the elevation to where the top side of the track becomes more flat rather than being on that kind of angle bank. And we'll have a nice smooth roller here in the back side of the track. Drop down here. You can see, come up into a nice roller. Get a little bit of float, nothing too crazy at all. And then we've got a downhill double. So the first official double of the track. And this has got a pretty good kick to it. And of course, because it is downhill, that will assist in making it all the way across. But it's kind of, I don't want to say chicane exactly because you can't get a perfectly straight line through here. But as you come over that roller, your goal is going to be to stay tight and then kind of chicane the inside of that to what then becomes the inside of our next turn. So it's kind of an S, depending on how you look at it. But you want to go inside to inside and get a nice diagonal across here into our next feature. This is going to be the big center double. Lots of airtime here at the very center of the track, right in front of our lovely driver stand there. So you can see it'll drop downhill, and then you've got a nice big giant double that you will then take to a super drug out lander. This should be really easy to make. It should send you more out rather than up. So a high speed big air double, gonna be a lot of fun, and you'll have lots of time to land and come into probably the biggest overall feature of the track, this ginormous elevated turn. I'm gonna see if I can't get a full walk around here for you. It's pretty tall. I don't know exactly how tall it is. I'm gonna stand next to it here. I mean, there's probably a good, on this very outside, I mean, at least 3 to 4 foot. I never like giving exact measurements because I don't know if they're gonna be way off, but it is incredibly massive. Gotta look from the inside there. So not only is it a big elevation, but it's also an angled elevation. So it's gonna keep you kind of pushing towards this inside here. But we'll step actually all the way up top here, and you can see the rest of the track that we were on. We're almost level with the driver stand here on this nice big giant roller. Then you'll shoot down. This is definitely more chicaney from the inside of that to the inside of this. We'll make a right-hand turn. Just a little roller up the hill. Nothing too crazy at all, especially compared to that massive, massive roller there. So here's our downhill chicane double into our big float double. You'll come up and down the elevation here, chicane into this guy, over our little roller, and then into what is going to be the biggest double of the track. It is absolutely massive back here. It's almost as tall as the elevation, but I don't want to say it is as big as the elevation because this is on the top of the hill. It naturally sits a little bit higher. The lane is higher comparatively speaking, but nonetheless, it is a ginormous double that is going to give you tons of airtime. I don't know exactly how big this gap is. I'm on top of the roller once again, but you've got plenties of run up. It's got a lot of lip on it. So even though it's massive, it should be very easy to make, and there's a ginormous drug out lander there. So no issues whatsoever to be able to make that. I think everything will make it. We're not driving four-wheel drive short course out here, but I think even that would make it all the way across here. The wind, of course, just being the only kind of potential threat. But you'll land into a sweeping turn here that then kind of comes into a kink. Just a little bit of elevation, kind of like a pie cut. If you're on the very inside, you get a little bit less of a drop. Outside, you get a little bit more of a drop. See if we can get you a backside view there. There you go. So you can see just a little bit taller there, kind of in this section. It does fall off a little bit on the edge if you go way, way wide. And then, of course, you have to go around the mega kink. But if you stay tight, get just a little bit of drop. Here's the line. So you will have to make some steering adjustment. You definitely can't go straight through there, but you'll almost 50-50 grind it for a split second as you come off of it. Then we'll spin around here. We'll round out the track. Just got to move that pipe back on here. Finishing up on a little bit of like dragging to finalize the track as we go through the weekend. So we got that pipe just opened up so we can get any sort of machinery onto the track. But that brings us back to our stripe. A couple things to show you here that are new on the outdoor track. This beautiful boardwalk. It is quite wide, so no issues at all. If you are pitting, you can walk behind people without, bumping elbows. We've even got some spectator benches. And of course, we still got our beautiful metal pit lane. We have made some adjustments to the entrance to make it a little bit easier to come in. It does still pinch at the very, very entrance of the metal portion, just so that way, we don't have people flying in. Luckily, with this kind of hard 90-90 section, you can't fly in, but safety, of course, is going to be our #1 priority. Now, walking very quickly through the grass, see our lovely Invitational banner. I say lovely a lot if you guys haven't been able to tell. But we'll come to the top, and we'll get a view of the entire track. It's beautiful. It's an awesome track. And it's going to provide for some amazing racing this weekend. We'll give the run through once again, like we did inside. You'll zoom down the straightaway, coming into an up, and then back down the hill through our double roller. You'll make a 180, jump the tabletop, either to the back side of it, or you'll jump it all the way to the top. Come over the backside roller into a downhill semi-chicane, over the big center float high-speed double. Then you'll round into that massive elevation that puts you about the same level as the driver stand. And when I say that, I mean foot level. Of course, your eye level is going to be a little bit taller than that, but foot level is about the same. It'll drop down, round back up the hill over that roller, do a massive big double there in the back, end off with a pie cut drop, and then you'll zoom back down the straightaway. So just like yesterday, we look forward to seeing everybody later this week. Check in, of course, to be on Thursday. Those of you with trailers and RVs, make sure you do check in the shop before you drop. And then we'll have practice on Friday, quals on Saturday, and mains on Sunday. So hopefully everybody will enjoy both of our 2 awesome tracks that we have here for the 2025 Invitational. We'll see you guys soon. Thanks for joining me.